The day has come. You've arrived on campus and have been coasting along, hanging out with new friends and eating endless food in the dining hall and playing Ultimate Frisbee so that you don't gain the freshman 15. All when you should be studying. These things are part of college life and you love every minute of it. But then, just when you thought you could coast along, your professor assigns your first research paper and you must use, dare I say it, outside resources. The professor explains that you must go to the library to get these resources instead of just using Google or Wikipedia. But you don't know where the library is. Fear not. This video is going to tell you everything you want to know about accessing the library, using the materials inside, and successfully finishing your first research paper. But first, let's find the library building. The first part of using the library is finding the building. It is probably a rather large building and likely in an accessible place. It may be called the library or the Learning Resource Center. There also may be more than one library on your campus. For example, an educational resource library, reference library, and a special collections library. Each of these libraries has unique materials that can help you start the research process. However, finding the main library building is probably going to be the most helpful if you haven't chosen a major or specialty area yet. Once you're inside the library, you will likely notice several things. A circulation desk, books, and, well, more books, computers, and a seating area for studying. The library is not only a place for finding resources, it is also a quiet place where you can study or use the computer. However, not all areas of the library have to be quiet. There are study areas where you can meet as a group, hold group discussions, and work on projects. Since the library is probably in a centralized area, it is a great place to meet with your group members.
While you can visit the library to find research materials, the library has so much more to offer. Some colleges or universities offer an audio-visual section and technology equipment rentals. Other resources in the library include study materials, textbooks, leisure reading, children's books, and movies or videos. Some of the basic information sources include books, scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles, reference sources, and credible internet sources. There are several ways you can go about finding your resources, including using the online catalog, asking a librarian, or wandering around the library to find the right section. It is important to know what kind of information sources you need before going to the library. Often, the professor will indicate how many or what types they would like you to use. Determining this should be simple depending on your academic concentration. All of the information sources should be scholarly, credible information. There are many librarians and other employees in the library that can help you find the materials you need. Depending on how large your university or college is, there may be more than one reference librarian and they may each have a specialty area. For example, some librarians specialize in STEM resources while others have an expertise in the social sciences. Books are typically non-fiction, relate to the topic, and are written by someone with extensive knowledge on the topic you are studying. Scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles are not like the articles you see in the magazine, but they are articles written by an expert in a given field. The journal article must go through an editorial board review process to make sure the information should be published in the given journal. Many times, these articles include technical and specialized language, charts and graphs, and a long title that describes the content. A reference source is a source that has a small amount of information in which you reference to find a source with more information about the given topic. This may include a map, dictionary, encyclopedia, directory, or handbook. The internet sources that you will need to use are ones that have credible information rather than Wikipedia or Google. Typically, if the website ends in .gov, .edu, or .org, they have more credible information. While Google may be appropriate for figuring out who the 2006 American Idol winner was, it is not always appropriate to use it to conduct college-level research. College-level research must be conducted carefully as to get all the correct information sources. However, using a physical copy of a book, journal, or reference material is not your only option. Many times, universities and colleges will be subscribed to databases and materials on a wide variety of topics. Databases are a very important part of research. Each database has unique materials relating to academic concentrations. For example, they are broken down into psychological sciences or biology. Some larger universities subscribe to hundreds of databases, while smaller colleges may only subscribe to half that amount. Some of the most common databases include JSTOR and EBSCO. These databases can be found online. You may have to use your ID number or another credential to access the materials, but it's just one of the many ways libraries allow you to access thousands of resources at the click of a button.
If you cannot find the materials that you need in your college or university library, then it is likely that you can get an interlibrary loan. This means that materials in other university or college libraries will be physically sent to your library to use, then returned to the original library once you're finished using it. Some sources may be scanned and sent to your library so that you can have the material for a longer period of time.
After you're done finding your resources in the library, you must put all the information together into your research paper. It is a good practice to write an outline before you go into the library with the basic information to cover. Once you have started your research, you can add the information you found into the outline. During this process, make sure that you denote which sources the information you are using came from. Once you begin writing your paper by using the outline, you'll need to use citations in order to avoid plagiarism. Plagiarism is taking another person's words or ideas and using them without properly giving credit to the original source. This can lead to failing a paper, suspension, or even expulsion from the university. Many resources are available to help you avoid plagiarizing. You will need to use one of the three main citation styles: APA, MLA, or Chicago. Typically, your professor will tell you which one is appropriate for you to use. All of the topics discussed, from determining the information you need, assessing it, evaluating it critically, incorporating it in the college-level research paper or other assignments, and understanding how to use information resources without plagiarizing is all part of what our professors and other really smart people call information literacy. Information literacy is very important in college, and even though college-level research can seem intimidating at first, it is important to realize that there are lots of resources out there that can make the task seem less daunting. Being able to break the task down into steps and use your resources, such as the librarians, the databases, and the library books, is a very important part of the process. While we hope this video has answered a lot of your questions, do not be afraid to ask one of the librarians for help, whether you need to find a scholarly research journal or just a leisure read. Make sure you visit your campus library to get started on your next research project.